Think with the end in mind. Have you ever heard that saying before? Have you ever thought a whole lot about that? Well, we're going to talk about that today. How's it going, guys? My name is BJ, and today we're going to be talking about planning our life out, or something called life mapping, life planning. If you haven't already watched the video, Feelings and Behaviors, make sure that you take some time to check that out, because we talk about this concept called a GPS, where we consider our future, we consider our goals, and we filter our decision making through our goals, because when we do that, that helps keep us on the path and not just following after our emotions. When we follow our feelings explicitly, we can find ourselves getting completely lost and not having an end goal in mind. So we want to make sure that we know where we're going with. So there's a kind of a process that you can go through to figure out what that is for you, because your goals, your destination is going to be different than mine or anybody else's. You have specific goals in mind, whether that be for your career, for your family, for your personal growth and development, for sports, for all kinds of different things. So this can kind of happen and take place in all of these different areas. You want to take some time to think through and almost take inventory of what you have, what you need, and how are you going to get where you're going to go. Attached to this video, there's going to be a small PDF with a list of different questions for you to kind of work through and either talk out with somebody that you trust, a parent or a friend, to kind of help you keep your goals in mind and see what you have. These questions are going to be like understanding, what do I want? Where am I going to go? Just actually writing down what are my goals in life? Where do I want to go? And then kind of taking inventory of, what do you have in place to get what you want? What do you still need to get where you want to go? What support systems do you have in place? What do you still need to work towards? Who are my supporters? What or who is holding me back? When we kind of take these things into consideration and actually write it out, talk it out, figuring out what we have, where we're going, what we need, it can help us gain a better perspective of timeline, how long it's going to take to get these goals. It kind of puts measurable mile markers so that whenever I'm going towards something, I can see, am I actually still going in the right direction? Or have I changed course? Do I need to do some course correction? Or maybe I discovered along the way that, wow, what I want right now is not possible. Or maybe it actually isn't what I want at all. Maybe I realize that I don't want this process, so I have to change the end goal. There's this concept of thinking with the end in mind, planning with the end in mind. Don't just take blind steps. Know where you're going. And that doesn't mean that you have to have everything figured out. That doesn't mean that you have to know exactly who you want to be and what you want to do when you grow up or graduate college, or whenever just thinking. You don't have to have it exactly figured out. But this process of continuing to think forward, continuing to think with goals in mind, as you develop more passions and a clearer vision for what you want for your life, this process is going to help you get there much, much sooner. And it also helps you with the decision-making process along the way, because then you start thinking to yourself, okay, well, I want to get here. I want to go to this place, or I want to get to this place in my life. And now I have this decision in front of me. I want to do this, but I have to consider, is this actually going to help me get to where I want to go? That's kind of what we talked about in the GPS video. Is this going to help me, hurt me, or redirect me? Is this in the plan? If it's not, then I have to evaluate whether or not I want to make this choice. And so this whole class has been about kind of child development and understanding parenthood and motherhood and fatherhood. So I'd be remiss if I didn't ask this question. Whenever we're thinking about our future, the question is, does a child play into this? Is this a part of the plan? If it is, cool, right? You have your support system, you're ready to go, and you know that you can still accomplish what you want to accomplish through this process. But if you realize that, well, a child is going to totally mess up my plan, or let's not even talk about children. Let's just talk about a relationship. This unhealthy relationship that I maybe want, but it's not going to help me get to where I want to go. It's not going to encourage me and drive me and push me forward. So I've got to evaluate these relationships, romantic or otherwise, because I have goals in mind. I have passions. I have a place that I want to get to. And that doesn't mean don't have fun along the way. That doesn't mean don't enjoy the people that you're around. You need to do that. But don't lose sight of where you're going. And you might be sitting there thinking to yourself, well, okay, I've already lost my goals. I've already made some choices that have totally changed the trajectory of where I wanted to go and altered my plans. Understand that happens, and it's okay. So some adjustment needs to happen. You need to realign yourself. That's okay. You're not defined by failure. You're not defined by your past mistakes, your past choices. What defines you is the fact that you are, that you're a human being, that you have a unique set of abilities, you have a unique personality, you have incredible value. And moving forward, if you establish yourself some new boundaries, you establish yourself some new parameters, new goals, you're going to move forward and you're going to do great things. Don't allow the things that have happened in your past to keep you from moving forward, because that's what can happen. That's what happens to so many people. Well, I did this in my past, or this happened to me, or this relationship failed, or this experience happened that was negative, and because that happened, I'm going to throw up walls and barriers to protect myself from something like that happening. And in doing so, I put poor expectations or expectations of failure on current relationships, current opportunities, and I don't even let them in. I don't even let myself take those risks, take those chances to move forward towards a new goal, because, well, what happened in the past, that I don't want that. I don't want that again. I'm letting that hold me in fear and anxiety. You're worth more than those things that are holding you back. You're worth more than your mistakes. Your value and your worth are so much greater. Yeah, it's scary to move forward. Whether you have mistakes or you don't, it's scary to move forward. It's scary to go after your dreams and your visions and your hopes. But if we set healthy boundaries, evaluate what we have, what we need, if we surround ourselves with people who are supporters, not just yes men, like people who are going to ask us the hard questions and who are going to keep us on task and make sure that we're moving towards our hopes and dreams and not just after our emotions. When we have those types of things in place, we have a goal in mind, and we step in confidence, knowing that my value is not in what I do, it's in who I am. You're going to start seeing things happen. You're going to start seeing your life change in drastic ways.